Yo, look at that fucking loser.
I don't know, man. He doesn't look too happy.
Yo, fuck's sake! Is that your sister's shirt or
Dude,
what?
You're such a dick.
What do you mean?
I'm gonna go talk to him. Hey, man. Don't look so excited. I'm sorry my friend's a dick. But we're having some people over tonight. How would you feel about coming over?
So what did that weird guy say?
I don't want to talk about it.
Fucking assholes, man.
I'm ready.
All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to a new episode of the Johnny Salami podcast. Today's guest is an old coach of mine, Coach Salzy. Thanks for coming. I really appreciate.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, I know it
That's
must
awesome.
have probably taken a lot emotionally for you to say yes, but
Yeah, it did. When you asked me, I had to go reflect on things.
yeah, just go on your LinkedIn profile real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just shut it down.
Yeah, no, but I really appreciate you coming here, man. I mean, you were always like a coach. I'd be like, yeah, I'd love to have like 6 or 7 beers with this guy. You know what I mean? I think that's how like everyone kind of thought of you, but
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I guess that's a compliment.
yeah, the first time, like our first interaction was pretty bad though. I remember, I think I was like, I don't even think you know this. Like I was a sophomore in high school, and me and Joe Fine, we had like Brennan Joyce was a good friend of ours,
Mhm.
and it was his first time playing football. So we brought him to like one of the like the training camps. I remember like Coach Campanelli was running like a strength and conditioning workout.
Yep.
So like you would have to do like jumping jacks and like push-ups and stuff, and like you were walking around to make sure like everyone was disciplined, and like after every exercise you'd have to like clap, and you were making sure that like everyone was clapping, and everyone was like wicked out of sync. So like Brennan's doing jumping jacks, and like his nuts are smacking his leg like really hard, dude. So like you thought he was clapping, but it was actually his nuts. And dude, you lost your mind. Like you were like, who the fuck is that? Like, but I almost had a heart attack from laughing when that happened.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
I don't think that's something you want to remember, but
No.
that was like all of our first time, like like finding out who you were.
Yep.
So it was
Yeah.
like a really good first start.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that was. I probably just had come in from coaching at Dean for a few years, so. It was a
Yeah.
little-
When did you start coaching high school?
I started back in 99 with Shea.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
for
you'd been
few
there for a
years.
while.
3 years with Shea, and then I went to Dean for about 8 years, then over to Cumberland for a few, and then back to Dean. So
Jesus, I didn't know you
Yeah.
were there like back that far.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun. It's fun. It was fun. It's great coaching the kids, just
Mhm.
not the parents.
Yeah.
Especially at the high school.
That must have been crazy to see like the amount of change though over that time span.
Yeah. It was different. It's high school football's a lot different than college, but I mean the coaches are just so. I'll say that this in a good way. They're a little bit more immature.
On the high school level?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They just they just whine about everything, and they whatever. There's a lot of egos involved there.
Yeah.
And stuff. So
Yeah.
it was
Yeah, I mean, when you're like 16, 17, even 18, like you're just kind of confused. Like you don't really know like what coaches talk about, like
Yep.
what they're like. You just kind of like know them on like a coaching level,
yeah.
which makes sense. I mean, like,
And you should. That's
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it should end, because we always talked about that. Like after we'd go out after a game or get together during the summer and be like, imagine if the kids saw us now.
we had we had our own parties and whatnot.
Right. Oh, we know.
So that always came up, like, like I wonder what the coaches do and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, 16, 17. Like, I mean, I know I was confused.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, everyone was. I was confused up until probably a couple of years ago.
Yeah. So it makes sense. I mean, but yeah, I didn't even know you coached that far back. Like, what happened though? So like, I mean, we'll get into like what it was like coaching us, but what was it like leaving? Like, we never really knew. You know, we had like a meeting and whatnot. Where Coach Skark was like, "Hey, like I'm leaving."
Right. Yeah.
And then you left
that was
as well,
tough.
right?
Yeah, because the kids that were coming back, I felt bad for, because Skirk had built a good program there.
Yeah.
Obviously. But going, Coach Vasey had contacted us. It was right around Christmas time, I think, and asked if we'd come back and coach, because both of us had coached there before. So I wanted to go back there, and my youngest was coming up and he was going to be playing there, and I just didn't want to coach him in high school.
Really?
So it was a good fit for me. Yeah. I just, and especially
Like
if
a
he's gonna
conflict of
play
interest, kind of.
quarterback, then
Yeah.
I coached him 1 year. I think he was a freshman or a sophomore, and he was on special teams, and I remember losing my mind on him. Like,
Yeah, you would get pretty mad.
yeah,
That was
I
funny.
remember a Thanksgiving Day game at Woonsocket that, it was a kickoff. I think we won the game like 40 something.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do this. So
Yeah, that makes sense though.
yeah,
I mean, he is your son, so like,
yeah,
I can see that.
yeah. So I just.
So like, why did you wanna go back though to Dean? Like, what's the difference between Dean and like, obviously you mentioned the immaturity, but
Well, the best thing about Dean is it was a junior college back then. Now it's Division III, but and the talent was unbelievable. I mean,
really,
we had Division I type kids that didn't make the grades, or
kind of
SAT
like a last
scores.
chance you type thing.
Yeah, exactly. And coaching those kids was so much fun, and it was just football. That's all you had to do. You didn't have to think about parents. You didn't have to think about hurting someone's feelings. It was just football. These kids were there, and if they weren't good enough, then they weren't going to play. And and it was kind of like that in high school. If you're not good enough, you're not going to play, as you know. But you always try to get kids on special teams and stuff. But here, it's the talent was just unbelievable, and it was fun to coach those kids.
Yeah, I was always confused at like what Dean was, because I know like it recently went Division III, but like Joe would always say like Dean and Bryant are scrimmaging, and I was like, holy shit, like they can actually like hold their ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we would play Bryant's JV, right? Because our kids were basically freshmen and sophomores, and then they'd go off. So we'd play their JV team once a year. That was a nice game that we had, and we'd play Army prep and Navy prep, and played some good teams.
Yeah.
And some of those teams that you see on Last Chance U, we'd play teams like that.
Really?
So it's fun, because then when they graduate, we've had kids go to South Carolina, Florida State. So you get to see them on Saturday. Well, when I was coaching, I didn't, but you tape the games and stuff, and we'd get to watch kids that we coached up at the big level, the Division I level. So
yeah,
that was always nice.
Yeah, when you say immaturity, I mean, I think when I was starting off in football, like as a freshman, everything was different, obviously, from like a perception, point of view. Like from my point of view, it was very different than it was as a senior, obviously. Probably because of confidence, but like I felt like the groups before us, not to bash them or anything, but they were really different than what we had as a junior and senior group. I feel like, and that might have just been my perception. I don't know, man. It was just like different. It's like I don't think we really there was never really like too much bullying that went on when we were there. I think we were just like solely focused on winning.
Right.
But you also had people who were just like tapped in the head as far as like.
Oh yeah, especially the first couple of years I coached at Cumberland. I think it was 2011 or 12, right around there. We had some kids that I don't even know if they really liked football, but they just wanted to be with their buddies, and And the culture before Skirka took over was like, if you're doing defense and you played offense, you didn't come to practice. So these kids had a whole mindset different than, you know. So Skirk did a great job in kind of building a culture there of, you know, everyone is responsible. And
Yeah, he must have learned a lot too from like the group he had at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Versus our group, like he must have definitely gathered some wisdom.
Yeah, there was some challenges for him there. And
Yeah.
you know, Skirk, he's that type A personality, and things got to be his way. And so.
Well, now that I'm older, I'm like, I've never met like a really good coach that like wasn't a dick.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, most head coaches, in my experience, I've never been a head coach, right? Because I just don't have time with my job and stuff. But most of them, and they're all great friends. Everyone I've coached with, I love to death, and I'm still close to. They're all egomaniacs. And, you know, they have big egos.
Yeah.
But I think you have to. I think you have to, because you got to believe in yourself so much that, you know, you have to believe that it's your way or the highway. So
yeah, dude. If you saw some of that stuff, that's what I was like thinking about. Like at this age, I'm like, I think about like the stuff they want on the locker room, like just like the immaturity level of all those kids. Like if you're nice to those kids, you know what I mean? Like you baby them and stuff. Like you're in for like a shitty awakening, man.
We used to laugh at that stuff. I remember one story. We were trying to get out of there, and we had to wait till you guys all left. And we're like, shower's still running. And we go over there. We're like, we see Trent Basie. Like, Trent, you know, let's go. And he's like, all right. And then all of a sudden, Eric Travers' head pops up, and he's in the same shower. And he's like, hey, coach. And I'm like, don't even want to know. Just walk back to
who knows what they were doing. Dude.
Yeah.
They were probably making a video.
Yeah. Yeah,
those guys,
different kind of podcast.
Yeah,
they were before their time.
Yeah,
ahead of their time.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to know what they were doing in there. Happy I didn't get the invite though. Yeah, man, some crazy things. Like we used to like party really hard too. Which was nice, you know, from like a camaraderie standpoint.
Yeah.
But I think what like really like as far as like immaturity goes, like I remember when I was like a freshman, like, you know, I had my my knee injury as a freshman, and even just like the fucking bullying that took place, dude, like it was like another level, man.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Like I remember, like obviously I'm not gonna name names, but like I dislocated my knee, and I would like go to the games and stuff. So I had like just dislocated my knee, like I'm emotionally like torn.
Yeah.
And like one of the seniors was like, "Oh, like did you hurt your knee, baby?" And like legit hit it. And I was like, holy shit, dude, this kid's a fucking prick, dude. And it was just like, it was a whole different ball game, dude. You know what I mean?
Stuff
like imagine like Joe
that.
Fine or like Josh Pizzarelli or like Chris Hayes doing that. Like you would never see that from them, you know what I mean?
No.
So
I wouldn't expect it from them. Yeah, so when you were a freshman, yeah, that class was not right. Yeah.
They definitely, like, they cared a lot. I just didn't know them that well. But like things like that I'd see, I'd be like, holy shit, dude. Like you like, and I think a lot of that had to do with the school as well. Like the, who was it? They had a fucking, was it a president of the school or whatever. Principal. What the fuck am I thinking?
Yeah. It's a woman, right?
Yeah. Miss Gould.
That place was a zoo.
Dude, it was
a zoo
funny.
back then. I remember like going in there and seeing kids just running around and, you know.
Yeah, it's like what you would think of like high school being in the movies.
Right.
Yeah, and then it turned into like a prison. But like, yeah, dude, kids would like light up blunts in class and like scream like penis, and like nothing would happen.
Yeah.
It was literally a zoo, and I think that had a lot to do with it too.
Yeah. And what was the new principal's name there? He's at Mount now. I forget.
Oh, Tenorero. Yeah, he came in. He's like, I'm locking this shit down, dude.
He was awesome though.
Yeah.
He supported athlete. You know, all the programs. He was so much better. God.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of, I don't know, man. I had mixed feelings. I feel like in high school, like you should have that kind of like zoo-like culture, but like I think that's what separates kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like there were still kids that like, you know, even in that culture, they could still get good grades and like block out the noise. But then there was other kids who just kind of went along with it. So
right,
dude, night and day from those two principals, man. I think that had a lot to do with it too.
From a parent standpoint, I was
you were for the prison, Communism.
Tenrero. Yeah, communism's good in school.
Yeah, but what did you played football, right? Like when you were younger?
Played football right through college. Played 4 years at Western Connecticut, so 8 years old on. So I'm sure I have some brain injuries somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that like? Like, I mean, I can see you as a child with like ripped jeans, like a leather jacket, smoking some Marlboro Reds. Like, what was it like for you?
I never smoked, but
Really?
I was, I grew up in Cranston, so we were very poor too. So it was football. I played football. My brother played hockey. I wanted to play hockey. I should have played hockey. It's my favorite sport. But anyway, yeah, and I played for a team in Edgewood, the Edgewood Eagles, who used to just dominate. It was fun. My mother sent me a bag full of all these trophies that we had won growing up. But yeah, just that was me out and about. Loved football since I was, like I said, 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough though, because it's a commitment.
Yeah. What were you like in school? Were you kind of like were you mature, or were you more like
No. I was very immature.
Really?
Oh God, and I was the youngest of four, so I was used to getting babied and stuff too. So and got my ass kicked from my brother a lot. But yeah, I got into middle school and it was bad. I thought I was cool and funny and just didn't take school serious enough. And then got into high school, got a little more serious about school, but not really. And I had to take took a year at CCRI because my grades just weren't good. And then and one of my old counselors in high school, Tony Centauri, he was a head coach at Johnston High. He called me and said that Western Connecticut was interested, and he helped me get there more than my actual head coach at Cranston East. But it was fun, and I went there, and that's where I matured in college.
in college?
Yeah. I got my shit together, and ended with like a 3.4 or something like that. And,
Yeah.
And just
What changed? Like, were the dick jokes just like weren't hidden?
yeah. It just I figured out that people think you're funny until you're sitting on the side of the road not doing anything.
You're working at a gas station.
Yeah. Then it's not funny anymore. Then you're like, fuck. Hey, I got a good one. They're like, yeah, just fill my tank up.
Yeah.
Asshole.
Yeah.
But,
40 on 10, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. Yeah, when I was younger, I used to I'd look at kids and like, I would never judge someone based off of like what they said, Like if kids scream penis in class, I'd be like, that's funny, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would just judge kids based on like their actions and whatnot. And like the kids I judged, I'd be like, I can see this kid working at a gas station when he's older.
Yep.
And now they're filling up my gas, dude. Like, it's crazy, man. You'll go to like a local Sunoco and be like, I see that.
You were pretty smart in school, though.
No.
I always thought you were like one of the smarter kids.
No.
Up until the night before Thanksgiving when you give the speech, and then you gave that speech, and I was like,
yeah. So
wow,
in school,
I never knew this kid.
Yeah, in school I was like high school I was very quiet. When I was growing up, like I grew up with Joe Fine. I think everyone kind of knows that. Like Joe would live up the road, and we both played sports together. We would walk to school together. We'd both get good grades. When I got to high school, my grades kind of dropped. Like I wasn't like mentally defective.
Yeah.
I mean, my doctor's never like given me like a straight answer. You know what I mean? Like he always beats around the bush. But yeah, man, like I wasn't smart, but I also wasn't dumb. I was always like kind of in the middle.
Probably
once
a little
I got
more
to,
lazy than right?
Yeah, dude, I was really fucking lazy, man.
That's me. That was me in high school.
Yeah. But I mean, like nowadays, like you think about like the term lazy, and you're like, is that person lazy, or they just like aren't passionate about what they're doing? You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Yeah.
I think back then I was literally just fucking lazy, man.
Yep.
And that was what was great about football. Like I remember, I don't know if I've told this story before, but like I remember like the one moment that Skirka tore me a new asshole for getting a new play, but he like actually roasted me like in front of everyone, like made fun of my laziness, like me mumbling, like me being fat and stuff.
Really?
And then he was like, go on scout defense. you know, like Billy takes my spot, and then I just start destroying kids. Like my adrenaline was just like off the roof. But it was good for me, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So
you
yeah,
hit-
man, high
you
school.
hit a
I was
nerve.
like, yeah, he hit a trigger point, man, which I thought at the time was like a bad thing.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy's a dick, but changed me forever, man. Like after that, I was kind of like, wow, like, you know, he's kind of right.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, in high school, just like really quiet. But then like I had that
Yeah,
other
you
side of me, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like I made that speech, but I think that was well deserved, you know.
Oh, it's tremendous. We still
Yeah.
talk about it. We still talk about that. I want to get into the specifics of it, but
Yeah, I mean I can't. But I remember like I saw you guys like before Thanksgiving, like at the bar.
Mhm.
And you know, from like my like standpoint, like I never knew what you guys thought about me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you were just like you would bring up the speech, but before the speech, like for those of like the people who are listening who don't know, like we had to make senior speeches about like what football meant to us and whatnot, and nobody had really heard me talk that much, like especially the coaches.
Exactly.
I remember going up there. I remember the kid in front of me was like, "Oh, watch him say nothing and just stare at everyone." I was like, "Watch this, dude!" And I was like, "Yeah." So I was I was spanking last night, and like everyone like erupted in laughter, and like I didn't really anticipate anyone to laugh.
Oh.
Like I thought it would be funny, like from my point of view, but kids were like crying, laughing, and then
So were we.
yeah, man, I just like kind of like was myself, and you know, people loved it, but that's who I was behind the scenes, realistically.
Yeah.
But I was really quiet, man. Yeah, high school was rough for me. Like I was always quiet, and like I was always like random too. But I don't know, man. High school is like a weird time, you know. Like,
So did you know then that you wanted to be a comedian?
No, man. I didn't even know what comedy really was.
Oh,
I
okay.
enjoyed making people laugh.
Yep.
But I still am very like immature. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, even to this day, like previous to, like I deliver packages for Amazon now.
Yep.
2 months ago, I was in corporate America. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, you know, I can be smart. Yeah, I can be mature, but deep down, like it's so hard for me to just like fake it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So there's always like that side of me.
Yeah.
So I was always like that, but I didn't really find out what comedy was till like later on. Like I really found, I'm still finding out, like it's still confusing to me, but at that point in time when I made that speech, I didn't know what like stand up was or anything like that. Like,
Yeah.
I just like thought farts were funny. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just,
They are. I mean,
yeah.
I think everyone thinks that.
Yeah. I mean,
Most normal people.
most
anyway.
normal people think farts are funny,
Yeah.
but, yeah, man, I never really tried to be funny either. I just had a really weird fucking life. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Same thing with comedy. Like I'm not trying. I'm just kind of like talking about experiences, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
You know, some people try, but it's just like if you have a pretty fucked up life, you can just kind of like talk about it, and people will be like, "Holy shit, man! Like really?" But yeah, I remember making that speech.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, everyone used to come up and say, you know, I want to tell everyone you need to work out earlier than, you know, it was always the same type of speech, and it was nice. It was
It was
great.
cute.
Then you got up and just kind of blew it out of the water, and we were just fucking laughing our asses off. And like I said, we still talk about it to this day. And you're right. We all thought you were just this quiet kid, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know if the team knew more about you than we did, but you just shocked the shit out of me when you said that.
No, I mean, I think, yeah, it definitely shocked a lot of people. A lot of people I knew already like could see it. Like Joe was like, "Oh, here we go." Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know actually. I don't know if he was like, he could have thought like maybe I was gonna say something mature, but like him, Josh, like Chris, all those guys knew who I was deep down. But like everyone else was kind of like, who's this quiet kid? Like, I wonder what he's gonna say.
Yeah.
And then once I talked about spanking, like it was it was over from there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You were talking about sprinting, stopping, whacking off. It was just.
Yeah, it was a roller coaster of emotions, man. For me, like the most enjoyable part of that was like, I knew like you guys were laughing, but like I remember there was a certain point in the speech where like it was like when I said the spanking thing, like there was like a few kids in the back who like literally like didn't stop laughing the whole time. Like once I said that, they were just set on that, and they were just like, I'm just gonna laugh for the rest of the speech just because of that. But then there was people like as the speech progressed, like they were like genuinely disturbed, and that was like a really satisfying moment for me. Like people were like, all right, man, like this is fucked up.
Yeah.
that was
This is getting dark.
yeah, that was a really like a solidifying moment for me. Like I was like, this is worth it. Like I'm glad I put the time and effort into this.
Oh, you made an impact, right?
Yeah,
People
I mean,
remember it.
at least I'll be, remembered for like generations. Probably not. I remember after that they didn't do it anymore, so I was like, oh man.
Well, that was a new coach.
Yeah, I wouldn't have come back anyway.
Yeah, I think they're doing it now.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I should go
Yeah,
back,
'cause,
dude. No, I'm just
Jake was asked. He hasn't been back yet, but
kidding.
he's been asked a couple of times.
Yeah, man. I don't think I would go back. I don't really think about it that
I
much.
don't think they'd be ready for you.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't. I would get in a lot of trouble, especially now.
Today's world, yeah.
Yeah, I had a kid on here who was like he was like 19 years old, and he was telling me like it's getting pretty bad, man.
Yeah.
Also, he would like really emphasize like the PC culture now, and like yeah, man. I guess it's getting pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like for us, like we don't know what that's like, but
No.
I don't know if do you see that like in the business world or
Oh, yeah.
really?
Yeah, everything's changed. You can't say, just I think about when I first started and what we used to be able to do with clients and stuff and wine and dine stuff and where we take them.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, what do you do? Like,
I'm in the energy business. So I'm an energy consultant. So I help big manufacturers buy their electricity, natural gas.
is that like ESG?
What's ESG?
It's like environmental, like social governance, like
No, nothing about environmental.
no
We get, I'm more about the
logistics.
the gas and just the procurement of it, buying it for these companies because everyone burns electricity, right?
Yeah.
Everyone needs electricity. Lights are on. Natural gas, same thing. If they're doing anything green, solar projects, we help them on that too. We actually have the town of Cumberland,
Just to like conserve energy and
conserve energy, buy their energy at a lower cost. Anything to do with energy, we're helping them out with.
yeah.
So I've been doing that since forever.
That must be a big business though.
It is. You don't think about it up here because we're in New England, but people think about it in Texas, right? And
Yeah.
I just got lucky. I had worked during college for this LNG company, a liquefied natural gas company. You see the big white tank on Allen's Ave when you're driving down 95? It's
Yeah.
a big white tank. I worked there. I was painting pipes and all that stuff. And then their main office, that's the pipeline, Algonquin. The main office was in Boston. Got offered a job in 85. So it's at 35 years I've been in this industry. So.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah.
I can't keep a job for more than like a year or 2 years.
Yeah. Well, it's different. I think the longest I've been with a company is 11 years, and
Holy
then
shit,
moved on.
Yeah.
So it's been good. It's given me a nice living. So
Yeah.
but
I've always
it's
been like
nothing that exciting. I'd much rather coach full time or
Yeah, dude. Jobs are like really fucking boring, man.
yeah, they
Like-
are.
I've never like heard someone's job and be like, "Holy shit, man!" Like
Yeah.
that's what I hated about corporate is like you always sit down with clients and they're like, yeah, my kid like can write the letter E now, and you're like, wow, it's fucking cool, man. Like,
Yeah.
Like you wipe your ass with like $150,000. Like it's like it's just confusing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It's different. What I'm doing now, the last 7 years, I love. So that's helped me out. I can do this as long as I want.
Yeah, but you're a consultant though, so you're always working with a different business.
Always working with different businesses, and I've been a partner now, so make my own hours. I've been golfing. I haven't coached in 5 years because I just wanted to get out of it. So I joined a country club, and I'm golfing. And
Damn, dude, you're living the dream right now, man.
yeah, I really am. Who would have known when I grew up in Dyer Ave in Cranston? Now
Yeah. You're just hitting the links, dude.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah,
Jesus, man.
yeah. My handicap
What
went
a-
way down, and it's just awesome. Yeah,
What country club did you join?
Alpine in
Oh, really?
Cranston, where I
don't know
grew
what
up.
it is.
Those are my peeps.
Yeah.
Right? Those are my people. So
Damn, dude.
yeah, it's about a 20-minute drive, and
That's literally the dream, man. Like that's what kids my age are dreaming about right now. They're like, dude, if I can get a membership at a country club right now, like it's over.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's awesome. It's awesome. It's
Yeah, man. Golf's definitely taken a huge turn over the years,
Oh yeah,
especially because of the quarantine. Like a lot of people are picking it up.
it saved me this quarantine because they never closed the golf courses down, which
Yeah.
thank God. And and we got a pretty mild winter. So I started in whatever. I was in Florida for most of January and then came back, and I've been golfing for a long time this year.
Yeah, man. I picked it up like a year or two ago.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm still learning, but
you like it though, right? It's
I love it,
addicting.
man. I used to fucking hate it, dude. I would go golfing with I used to go golfing with Trent, Mitch Baxter, like Sam Karen.
Yep.
Dude, I bought a set from Dick's Sporting Goods, just like a piece of shit Top Flight set.
Oh yeah.
This is like back in the day, man.
Yep.
And like me being me back in the day, I would just literally yell vagina like on the tee box and just swing as hard as I could. And like, you know, they were like pretty competitive guys, you know, so they would just bully me the whole time, and like I never really got into it. Like I never took it seriously. But now, dude, I'm like, if I ever saw someone do that on the course, I'd be like, that guy's a fucking prick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like that's not even funny.
You were that guy.
Yeah, I was that guy. I was also 16 though, so it makes sense. Yeah,
Well,
man.
you still see people like I'll be golfing in, not at Alpine, but there's some courses that the street's pretty close, and they'll always come by and beep the horn. You know?
Oh,
I'm
fuck
like,
those guys,
really?
dude. Yeah, they
You're
have
still
like
doing that?
they have like a lifted truck, dude,
Yeah,
with like an American
exactly.
flag. Yeah.
It's probably
That happens
so
at
you know those
Shamawa.
guys.
That happens at Shamawa a lot, just because like the road's right next to the course.
Shamawa is a dangerous course
You
because
think
there's
so?
balls flying everywhere.
They put up a
Oh,
bunch of nets, man.
They should.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a couple of guys that have been hit like in the head and the
Oh, dude.
back.
Yeah. I saw a one-legged guy rip a stinger at another dude's head.
Really?
Yeah, dude. It was nuts. This intoxicated guy showed up to the course we were teeing off at, completely like blackout drunk. Walked over to us, has one leg. So we were like, "What's up, dog? Like, what's going on?" He's like, "You guys mind if I try out one of your clubs, dude?" Takes Joe Marcolini's brand new driver.
Joe Marcolini.
Yeah, takes his brand new driver, just fucking sets a ball down, swings as hard as he can, dude. Hits the ball probably like 150 yards right at another dude's head, and he just drops.
Really?
Yeah, it was mind-blowing.
Oh, my
It was on my
God.
birthday, too. It was on April 20th. So everyone around me was, like, inconsolably high.
Hey,
And
you and I are a day apart.
Really?
I'm the 19th.
Oh, really? Yeah, dude. 420 is like a big deal for kids. Like,
weed.
yeah.
Yeah.
They'll get absolutely, like, inconsolably high. I was the only one who wasn't high, and I saw that, and I was like, holy shit. Like, I can't imagine what everyone else is thinking, dude. But, yeah, man, that dude just dropped. Like, he got hit right in the dome.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
The guy didn't do it on purpose. He just hit the ball and it happened to hit.
I mean, he was intoxicated.
What did he do after that? Did he just drop the club and leave?
Dude, it was weird because we were like, what do we do now? Because, like, we didn't do it. And one of the starters was like, get out of here, Jeff. Like, I guess he was just like
Oh.
this
it's a
was
normal
like a
thing.
regular occurrence. So he's just like, he's camping out like in the parking lot drunk, like just walking up to random dudes like, yo, you mind if I try out that new club?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was pretty mind blowing, man. But dude, golf is yeah, man, it's saved me like emotionally through the quarantine, kind of. I mean, I lost my mind at one point, but
Yeah.
it was nice. They just had the courses open, and yeah, man, it's weird because it drives you nuts, like golfing.
Yeah.
For me at least, you know. But then you have like one good drive, and you're like, all right, I'll come back tomorrow.
Yeah. Always brings you back.
Yeah.
So, but you're big into the fitness now too. I see that.
Not really, man. I feel like everyone says that, but I just feel like I kind of feel like I always have, you know. Like we've been going to. I mean, I don't go to forecourt anymore, but you used to see me
No.
back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but now, I mean, I've seen you I used to see you like the last couple of years anyway, right?
mhm.
And now, but you're still into it. You're a lot more into it than you were in high school.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you said a lot of people talk about that in their speeches, but in my speech, I would like. It is kind of a good point, you know, because I was always I was always getting injured, and I don't know. Maybe if I knew what I knew now back then, I would have gotten injured less. But yeah, man.
Well, you can't predict that.
Yeah,
It
I was
too
always
bad. You always had bad knees and stuff.
Yeah, it's not even like I had bad knees going into it. I just always got hit on impact. Like it wasn't like a functional thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not like I was like bow-legged. You know, just naturally like tore my ACL on a rock. Like I was like getting shoulder pads to the knees.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
there's
man,
Some
I,
coaches that coach that too, so which sucks.
Yeah, like I nobody knows this except for my mom. When I hurt my knee a Coach Campanelli was like, hey man, like I know like a sports medicine doctor, we can get you in for an MRI like really quickly. Because like MRIs, I mean, especially in high school, like so many kids are getting hurt, so you have to take like 3 weeks just to get the results.
Yep.
I got mine in like 3 days.
Yeah.
So like I went to see this guy, and Coach Campanelli told me like a few stories about how they went to college together. Like this guy's hilarious. I was like, oh, good man, like it's great. So I like go into this guy's office after I tore my MCL or whatever, and he's just like this hilarious guy. And, he's laughing. He's like talking to my mom. He's like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be fine. So, dude, he like puts me through a bunch of like mobility tests. He's like, does this hurt? Does this hurt? And I'm like, typical John, like, no, it doesn't hurt. But like realistically, like pain was like shooting through my body.
Yeah.
So this guy, he like moves my knee a certain way. And I just like under my breath, I was like, fucking tits. And he like literally just laughs and like he's like, excuse me 1 second, like leaves the room to laugh. So my mom starts crying, dude. She's like, oh no, like it's worse than we thought. Like my mom's fucking bawling her eyes out.
Yep.
But he was a wicked nice guy, man. He was like, you mind if I talk to your mom for like a few minutes? Like talks her down, and then yeah, man, got the MRI done. He was like, like you're not gonna have surgery. You're just gonna, this is gonna heal naturally. And which was obviously good news, but once that healed, like it didn't even heal completely, and I never told anyone that. I would always lie to Skirk. I'd be like, yeah, man, it looks good.
Yeah.
So I went back for a follow-up, which was just supposed to be a follow-up. Like I wasn't supposed to get cleared to play.
Yep.
And he puts me through the same test, and I'm like prepared for it. I'm like, dude, just keep a straight face the whole time. Like, you're good. I think he knew. Like I was fucked, but he was like, all right, man, I'll clear you. Like you can go play. But I was basically just playing on like one leg. So I was kind of like a bionicle. I had those knee braces and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he cleared me, man. Wicked funny guy, wicked nice guy. But if I could go back, I don't know, man. Like, would I do that again?
I know.
Probably, yeah. But it's
well, at that age, you probably will. But is it worth it? That's the big thing.
Yeah.
Because now,
I was lucky enough to not like tear my ACL and like have lifelong like knee problems. Like I have just pretty natural knee problems.
Yep.
Like things that are easy to fix. Like Eric fixed me up like pretty easily. Not easily, but it wasn't like, holy shit, man, like you need surgery. It was just like you just kind of move like shit.
Yeah.
Like you need to, you need to stretch like this more, do these exercises and you'll be fine. But
that's great that he's gotten into that, huh?
Yeah, man.
He's a big wrestler.
Had him on the podcast. I mean, I saw him at the bank that I used to work at, and I was just like, I wonder what he's doing nowadays. And then it just kind of like escalated from there.
Yep.
He had me in though, and I was like, because I've met with a bunch of specialists. Like they're not even specialists; they're just people who say they're specialists.
Right.
And they'll be like, yeah, like give me $5,000 and I'll fix you up good.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they're just like finger banging your ass, and you're like, all right, like this isn't gonna work.
Cortisone shot.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah, man, I met with him, and he was just like, it was hilarious, man. He put me through like a mobility test, and he was like, these are the worst results I've ever seen. Because he doesn't show you what he writes down on the paper. I think it's like a scale of like 1 to 10, and he was just writing like -1. But yeah, man, he has like his. I mean, you mentioned.
Where is this place?
I mean, are you boys with Colin Smith? You're in the group chat or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, he has Blackstone Wrestling.
Yeah, Colin just lived. Moved 2 houses down from me.
Really?
Yeah. So
like
I get to see him.
Yeah, dude, he has Blackstone Wrestling.
Yep.
So the club, Eric's, like he has his own spot, like right in the same area.
Oh, so down where
like the industrial buildings are.
Yeah,
like
Martin Street.
Yeah, Upper Deck Baseball.
Yep.
So like they have the mats set up, and Eric's area is like right next to that. So pretty good size area, man. I think they might extend it because they have more space back.
Yep.
Yeah, man, he has pretty much everything you'll need. But yeah, I didn't even know what he was doing, man. I just saw him at the bank, and I was like, hey, what are you doing? He was like, I'm looking to open up a business account. And I was like, oh, like for what, man? He was like, oh, like personal training.
Wow.
I was like, oh, good shit, man. Like I knew he wrestled, Division I.
Right.
Pretty big deal, but I didn't know about the whole like personal training thing, man. But yeah, he was the only one who could actually like do something about my knees,
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so he's crushing it, man.
But you don't work out there.
No, I like to work out on my own. I actually work out with Andre Lucier.
Oh, another kid that just got unbelievably. I mean, he was a big kid in high school.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, we call him the thumb, dude.
TJ works out with him once in a while, and
yeah,
he's like just unbelievable.
Yeah, man. He's just a big thumb, dude.
He's a big boy.
Yeah. Yeah, he went to we had him. He was like one of the first guests on here, but yeah, we go to the Top Strength Project in Pawtucket.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I left forecourt to go there like a while ago. Yeah, man, pretty cool gym. But like, we'll work out early in the morning. I can't do that anymore because of work, but
Yeah.
we would go in there early and get after it. But yeah, man, that kid's upper body strength is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
We had to do like some warrior program and like test our like maxes, and I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. But he did it, and he was like benching like 350. I was like, Jesus Christ, like, because he would say like back in the military academy he could bench 400, and I would like laugh and be like, I bet you could, man. But like he actually could,
Yeah.
but I couldn't even imagine doing.
That's right. He went to where did he go? He didn't go to Norwich, did he? I forget where he went.
I think it was in like
So that was the first year I coached at Cumberland,
Mm-hmm.
his class. And you're right, those kids were tapped. I mean, he was into it. He definitely was into it. He was a football player for many years.
Yeah, man, he was just like I don't know. It's weird, like.
Talk about farts. I don't know if you remember. He had the worst. Like,
Really?
we'd be in the huddle, all of a sudden the whole huddle would just disappear. They'd be like, "No, Andre!" And
Really? Wow, I got to bring that up with him.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
he had the worst. Yeah, he was known for that. Oh God.
Yeah, dude, I've been burning holes in my underwear from farting.
Really?
Like, no joke, dude. People are like, it's not from the farts. I'm like, I think it is, man.
Do you eat a lot of protein and stuff?
Yeah, I think it's
do it.
honestly just the coffee. I drink a lot of coffee.
Oh yeah.
It's a diuretic, so I feel like it's just shooting through.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But I just got a new car and it has a sunroof, so whenever I fart, dude, it'll just go right up. You know? Yeah, man. But like, it's weird because when I was like like when you're younger, you don't mentally you're scared, but like physically you're also scared. But then when you're a senior, I think you just get bigger. You know?
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you don't
get
really
more confidence and
Yeah, I think it's just like a lot of it's like a big like it's a size thing too. Like, I didn't like when I was a senior, people were like, dude, your senior class is like massive, and I was like, dude, we're not that big. You know what I mean? And like we weren't compared to like other states, but
yeah. But your junior and senior year, there was just a lot of talent on that team. You guys were
Yeah.
good, especially your junior year. And,
Yeah.
Baxter and Vasey.
yeah.
And
Did you think that though, like going in?
yes.
Really? You were like, next year we're gonna crush it.
We knew we had a good team. I don't know if we knew we'd be that good at your junior year, where we basically went undefeated after the Cranston West game that we should have won, but we shit the bed. But anyway, after that, you guys would just every game we just see you guys get better and better. And the thing was, the kids were so smart. Like Trent Vasey, he was like having another coach on the field. He was just, Baxter was smart. Our linemen were all good. They were tough kids. We never have to worry about, someone bowing out if they weren't legitimately hurt. And they just went 4 quarters. I think there was one game I remember, Shea, where Skirk told me to go and lose it on you guys at halftime.
Yeah.
That was probably the only time I really had to yell at that whole season. You guys were just that was a special. I mean, we can sit here and say, hey, what a great coaching staff, but it came down to talent. I mean, we were so much better than every other team in that division.
Yeah. Do you think that was like your favorite team to coach though?
In high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Because everyone was pretty cool. I mean, you always have 1 or 2 kids that.
Yeah.
But it's weird. What's weird is, like, you talk about freshman to senior year. I remember just looking at kids, even their sophomore year, saying this kid will never play. You know, and all of a sudden, senior year, they come out and they're bigger, they're more confident, they're faster, and like, geez, this kid's gonna help us out. And we had a lot of those kids in the 4 years I was there, 4 or 5 years. It's just, wow, all right, this kid can help. I forget one kid used to. I don't think he ever played. I think he flunked out before. I forget his name, but he was a big kid. He used to have Jolly Ranchers in his shoulder pads or something. And we'd be like, what's that smell? It smells like,
Really?
candy.
Oh wow.
He'd have Jolly Ranchers. I saw him on the basketball court like a few years ago. He lost a lot of weight and stuff, but I forget his name. He was younger than you guys, so sorry. I'm just
Yeah.
memory.
I think I know who it is.
Yeah, I don't want to mention names.
Yeah, we'll send him a message after this. Yeah. No, I was I could never like when I was a sophomore, people were like, wow, this kid's like really really strong, and I was like, I mean, you know, Joe would just like force me to go to the gym after school, like in the school, and so I would just go there. You know, I obviously had like low self-esteem and stuff, and I would just eat a lot, so like it was easier for me to get strong. So I think for me it was just like an emotional thing. You know, Skirka would always be like, dude, can you just try for like 5 seconds? And I'd be like, nah, man. Like, that was a sophomore, obviously, like as a junior and senior, like it was a little easier, but yeah, man, it was just like a fear thing, you know. It was completely mental. It was like very weird.
Yep.
But I like as a freshman, even seeing kids like Andre, I'd be like, the kid's like a bionicle, you know.
Yeah.
Or like Mike Lucina, I'd be like, I don't want to talk to him.
Mike Lucina, another tough kid.
Yeah.
I liked coaching him.
Mm-hmm.
He was funny. He was another funny kid that we found a few things in the locker room that he was doing that made us laugh.
Yeah, you know who I miss is Cam Lazenberry. I really want to get him on the podcast, man.
Cam Laz. Now there was a kid that played on one wheel too. He had bad knee. I remember in the championship game, he came out like 2 or 3 times. He was just kept getting hit in the knee. I see his brother once in a while. His brother used to work at forecourt there, David Lazenberry.
David, yeah.
Yeah, but he said Cam's doing well.
Yeah, man. Sent him a few messages, but I definitely miss him, dude. We would do some like hilarious things on the field.
He's not local, right?
No, he's in the Army.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out in like San Diego.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I guess you can't come on, man. You know. But I was like, you know, like when you get back, like,
yeah,
dude, easily one of like the funniest kids you'll ever talk to.
Yeah.
The reason I liked Cam a lot too was because like he never bullied me over anything.
Yeah.
Like very nice guy, man. You know. But we would like on the field, we would have this called we would just yell mango, and like Cam would go for the kid's legs, and I would just like tabletop the kid. And like we played JV together as sophomores.
Yeah.
I felt bad because like, you know, I think he was a junior.
Yeah, he was a year older than you, right?
Yeah, and so we did that to one kid, and like we got in a fight on the field, but it was so funny to us. Like,
see, he's one of those kids that has like, yeah, he'll never play. By senior year, became this really good lineman, you know?
Yeah, it was a lot of kids, man, and a lot of coaches, like, they have a hard time seeing it, but like a lot of kids are like physically capable, like more than capable of playing, but like mentally they're just like distraught.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like me and Cam kind of had like the same mentality. There was always like a switch. Like if you turned it, like it would just be like I remember seeing Cam's switch go off a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Like if somebody leveled him or something.
Yep.
He would just turn into like Ray Lewis, and you'd be like, what the fuck's going on right now?
Yeah.
And he would like talk trash too. So it was like hilarious. But any other time than that, like he took a beating emotionally from Skirka, dude. Like so bad. He's such an easy target, man.
Yeah. There were a few of those kids.
Yeah, it was so cool to see him just go off on kids, though.
Yep.
You'd just be like, dude, where'd that fucking come from, man? It would literally look like Ray Lewis, man. It'd be like legitimately scary. I'd be like, who are you, man?
You don't see that. Well, we don't hear it. All the shit talk on the field and stuff, but
Yeah, especially like talk about yelling, dude. You yelled. Well, when you yell, I mean, for me it's funny, but like for other people, like they literally shit their pants. But when I was you yelled at the junior team, I think. Oh no, it might have been when I was a sophomore. You came in the locker room like randomly, dude, just roasting kids, and like everything in my body was like, I was like, dude, just don't laugh, like don't say anything. And then there's a kid next to me who you wanted to yell at, but you couldn't find the words to yell at him, so you just made a sound, dude. I literally was like, I probably lost 5 years of my life just like trying not to laugh.
Oh my God. The thing is, I would leave the locker room and I'd start laughing.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah, dude.
At myself. Because I'd be spitting, you know? And then I'd walk out and and so now to this day, like my son's friends will come that I've coached and they'll tell me a story.
Yeah.
There was one kid, and I feel bad because coaches have a big effect on people, and I wish more of them would realize that, the effect they have. Because I still talk about my high school and college coaches, you know, and stuff they said. But it was a JV game. We were playing Rogers at Rogers, and I was coaching the JV team. I think it might have been maybe your senior year. And this kid was playing quarterback, and he was just stinking up the place. So I brought him over. I said, "You know why you're quarterback?" He goes, "No." I said, "'Cause I don't have any fucking one else." And to this day, he remembers that, and I just feel horrible about it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Dude.
I was like, "What a dick." So
That's hilarious, though.
I apologize to him. I hope he's done well, so he got over it. But
Yeah,
I felt horrible.
Yeah, because you're such a nice guy. So to like see you get mad, it's like literally like mind blowing.
Yeah.
And it's like you spit everywhere, but like you're roasting kids. Like it's almost like you planned out like a set of jokes, and you were like, "This is what I'm gonna say to this kid," and you're just like tearing kids
I
apart.
wish I did think about it. I probably should have thought about it before I went in there, but I would just go in and just
tear it up, dude.
And then I'd come out and
And then
we'd all,
afterwards,
as a coaching staff, would laugh. What'd you say? And I was like, I don't know. I was just like, I remember at Dean once. Here's a great story. So we had a backup running back, and he had an attitude. And I was like, listen, and he was good.
Yeah.
But the other kid was better. And it was like, just stick with it, blah, 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 and you got to lose the attitude a little and, talk to him nicely after practice. So then he's walking off the field, and he goes by another coach, and he says something like, fuck Salisbury, something like that.
really?
So the other coach says, "Hey, what are you talking about, Coach Salisbury?" So I go over there, and I just lose it. Have no idea what I said. Just, I just grabbed the kid, and I'm, rah, rah, rah. Anyway. Goes by. We go back to the coach's room, and they're like, "Do you know what you said to him?" And I was like, "No, you said you're dead to me." You told the kid you're dead to me, and all this stuff. And I was like, "Oh,
Damn, dude, you must just black out.
I do."
Wow.
Well, I did, and I always felt bad after. I'm like, because I don't like to yell. You really don't accomplish anything by that.
Yeah. It helps a lot, though. Like, the locker room just gets completely silent.
Yeah. As long as you do it at certain times. If you do it all the time, right? It's like anything.
Yeah.
People just tone you out and like, yeah, whatever. That's Coach Salisbury just being an idiot.
Yeah.
But, I laugh at myself because I'm not, people, again, those kids come out and they're like, "You're so much different, like, at home than you." I was like, "Yeah, what do you think? I run around yelling at people?"
Yeah, it's like you're a grown man,
Yeah.
Got to let it out somehow.
That's right.
That must have been a good stress reliever, man.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always helped me. Second half,
I would,
was
dude,
calm.
I would piss laughing. The one thing that made me laugh, though, was like when you came in at halftime, like, 'cause I was carrying water. Like, I didn't give a shit about anything. I was like, "We're losing. I don't give a shit, dude."
Right.
So you come in and, like, you start roasting these kids. Like, it's a legitimate roast. But then I think it was Brennan Joyce. Like, he was a sophomore, too, and he was next to one of the seniors that you were yelling at, and you just spit right in his eye, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, I could not stop laughing, man.
And Skirk would come in and he'd like break stuff. He'd throw the
Yeah, he had
Sharpies. Then he'd be like, "Where's the Sharpie?" And we're like, "Well, he just broke it."
Yeah, man, he had like some really good speeches though before games.
Yeah.
A lot of coaches like they don't know what to say, but you could tell like he would
he
plan
thought
it out
about
and
it.
stuff, and he was really good at motivating us before games.
Yeah.
I don't think he really yelled too much at halftime, but I remember like before the games I'd be like, "Wow, that was a really good speech." But then there was other times, man, it's like when you're playing, like you're like, "All right, this isn't funny." But when you're not playing, like it's it's hilarious. But there was one time where I was actually playing and we might have been losing, it might have been a close game or something. And I never thought I would laugh during a game because I took it seriously, but I was like crying laughing. And it was because like we would do that prayer before the game.
Yeah.
We'd be like, day by day, like till we get better and better.
Yeah.
Some kid yelled vagina 3 consecutive times. No.
All right.
So like this kid's wicked stoned. Like he couldn't follow. He couldn't follow along, dude.
Jesus.
And he was yelling vagina like throughout the speech. So I'm like, all right, that's kind of funny, just because he was like stoned, he was out of it, he wasn't gonna play. Like I was like, this kid's definitely getting kicked off the team. And even after the speech, like at the end when we're like day by day, like we get better and better. Like when we were saying till we can't be beat,
Yep.
like he kept saying vagina like after the speech was over, dude. I was like, yeah, this kid's getting thrown off the team. Like, but that was, I mean, I was in the game and I was like, that's funny. Like, like I never thought I'd laugh, you know, because you're physically exhausted, mentally exhausted. But I was like, that was a good one, man.
It's pretty funny.
The kid's killing it.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, this was fun, dude. I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah. I was happy when you invited me. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Another person where I just sent the message. I'm like, dude, just do it. See what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been denied a few times, but I've also been accepted a few times, man. I'm really happy you came on.
Yeah, thanks
And,
for having me.
Yeah, it was good to catch up with you.
Yeah.
I mean, you coached me, and we probably said like a combined 5 words to each other. So
That's right.
it was nice to sit down, man. Go over some memories, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming.
All right. Thanks.